I see you wearing an election interference never surrender shirt.
Yeah,
And that photo taken on a day he surrendered, right?
he didn't surrender.
Well, he surrendered to the authorities in that picture.
Well, that's okay because he was not guilty. He's innocent.
But he was found guilty of a felony. Does that give you pause at all?
No, not at all. Not at all. It makes me even vote for him even more. And I tell everybody about it.
In what way?
Because everybody feels his pain. They feel like they're in the same position as as all the people that are felons. I gotta go.
All the people that are felons.
No, they feel his pain because they're in that position. But he's not a felon because he never did anything wrong.
But he was convicted by a jury of our
It
peers.
doesn't matter. It was all cheap because they said that a couple of people actually put something on Facebook that he was already guilty without even knowing the verdict.
What about Hunter Biden's conviction?
Please, he's an asshole. I don't even want to talk about it.
I mean, do you think that was a just conviction?
He needs to be convicted of more than that because the laptop was real, and that's why Trump lost because they said that it was Russian interference, and that's wrong. I gotta go.
Can I ask you one more question? Well, one last question here. Is there a crime, and we're talking about felonies and crimes here, is there something
They don't even know. They don't even know what the crime was.
Well, it was paying hush money and cover up.
Hold on a second. Clinton paid Monica Lewinsky $800,000 in hush money. Why is he not convicted?
What about some of the issues Trump's had as a convicted felon? Does that bother you at all?
No, it don't, because the Democrat whole system is corrupt. So they want to do him like they should be done.
Hunter Biden, the president's son, was just convicted in Delaware. And the president has said, I'm not going to commute his sentence. I'm not going to pardon him, whatever the sentence is. And it was his Justice Department that went after his own son. So it can't be both ways, can it?
I think Trump just get in there and make right. Make the law, go by the law.
Right, but he broke the law is what I'm saying.
No, I don't think so.
But a jury of our peers, of your peers, that you worked so hard to protect in the military, they're the ones that convicted him, no?
You look at it this way. Biden and the Democrats, man, they all crooks. You look at this situation now at hand, and
which situation?
They forgave around kids in school and everything. And if this were the Democrats, I don't need to talk.
And what is it about Donald Trump that excites you?
He's smart. He's decisive. I think he's honest.
You think he's, this is his first rally since he was convicted of a felony, first in Philadelphia?
Felonies were set up.
And what about Hunter Biden's conviction?
He's a criminal.
But why was his not a setup, and why was Trump's a setup in your estimation?
Because he committed a crime, and I don't think Trump did.
Even though a jury of 12 on 34 counts were unanimous?
It was a fix.
This is the first rally that the former president's had since he was convicted, in Philadelphia certainly, since he was convicted on those felony charges. Does that make you think twice about your vote at all?
Not at all, because I follow the cases closely, and they're the most imaginary crimes you can think of. They really went out of their way to just invent something implausible and unprecedented. They don't make any sense. What's he guilty of? Ask any Democrat, what did Trump do? No one can tell you.
No, I'm just asking you, and 12 members of a jury convicted him, so I didn't look.
They had to convict if you're given instructions. I've been on a jury before. If you're given bad instructions, to violate them might get you kicked off the jury. So you
think it was a question of the judge's instruction?
Well, Engoron's daughter is a big Democrat fundraiser, and weirdly...
But this was Merchan. This is a different case. This was the New York case where he was convicted, not the trial where he is indicted. He's innocent in that until proven otherwise. I'm talking about the conviction.
Look at Bragg. Bragg is part of overseeing both New York cases, so Bragg's compromised, in my opinion. He's a political animal that's doing as he's told. And, I live in Philly, so I get it. The whole judiciary itself is dysfunctional to the point of collapse.
What did you think of the Hunter Biden conviction in Delaware on the gun charge?
On the gun charges, yeah, I mean, those were the least of the charges that you could have brought based on what's on that laptop, which is child porn.
No, I'm just asking about that, the case. Did you think they came to the good verdict there?
I mean, he literally violated federal law. There's no question. He shouldn't have owned a gun if he's using drugs, and it's pretty clear it possibly still is, a raging addict.
I'm asking because your willingness to accept that verdict versus the verdict in New York. Why is that?
Well, you have to look at how Hunter Biden's charges were spun down to the minimal thing he could possibly be convicted of. Again, this fits very nicely in my assessment that this is lawfare. Trump gets the hammer for a bookkeeping dispute, but Hunter Biden takes bribes from Ukraine, from Russia, from the Chinese Communist Party. All of those bank records, that's a matter of record in Congress.
Respectfully, it was more than a bookkeeping dispute. That's a strong euphemism for paying someone to cover something up and to not come forward, right?
I don't know if you know that Stormy Daniels signed 2 affidavits, one in 2017 and one in 2018, that said I had no sexual contact with Trump at all. And yet you never see that in the mainstream media. That was repressed from being brought.
Where did you see that?
It's online. You can look it up and find her affidavits. I mean, you can't use Google to find it. And that's what I mean. When the things are so rigged, even social media, even the mainstream media, that ordinary people can't get to the truth unless you have time to sit down and really dig and make up your own mind.
These convictions, or the convictions on those counts in New York, do they matter to you?
No, because we all know what it is. You know what I mean? We look at Bill Clinton. Had the girl underneath the desk. Come on. Paid off all them other girls. So it's two different, you know what I mean? Democrats are fighting, going for this guy because they know he's going to win.
But in fairness, that was 30 years ago, and now you have a president whose own Justice Department went after his own son in a gun case in Delaware, and the president has said, if he's sentenced, I'm not going to pardon him, I'm not going to commute it. What do you, do you think it's two-tiered?
I can't believe that. I'm pretty sure he's going to pardon his own son. You know what I mean? Because he denied it back in the day when there was, no laptop, nothing like that. Nothing involved with China, nothing. You know what I mean? China Joe. Look at all the money he got from University of Penn. It's just no good.
I like how he's not corrupt, he's not a politician, he's doing the best for our country, and he puts America first.
I'm going to challenge that because that's my job a little bit on the corruption thing. He was just convicted in the court by a jury of 12 of our peers of felony. Does that give you any pause at all in supporting him?
Not at all. Not at all. I support him fully, and I still believe that was corrupt as well.
And what about the Hunter Biden conviction? He was convicted on a gun charge. Do you support that?
My question is, where's his mugshot?
I don't know where his mugshot, but he's not. I don't know what Delaware's policy is. So. New York has a policy, and I don't know what Delaware's policy is.
That's all.
Do you see that as going down as being a justified conviction?
Who?
Hunter Biden.
Yes.
And what about President Trump's?
President Trump, I think he was attacked by the same committee that attacked him for the 2020 election. The third person in charge was appointed to that council, which you will hear about soon, and everything's going to go away.
It's going to go away? In what way?
Everything's going to be dropped because of illegal counsel.